I get to talk about two opposite ends of the Twilight Zone spectrum today. And strap in, because the second one is a doozy. Let's get to it, shall we?
Those are the doors, that is a chair with a panda on it.
Washington, D.C., and you with it.
It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Today, we meet Mr. James Bevis, a happy-go-lucky, idiosyncratic guy who sees the world with a childlike sense of wonder. He heads to work in a half-broken car, arrives late, and promptly gets sacked for having an untidy desk, playing awful music, letting carolers into the office, and maintaining a pretty poor work ethic. Man, Bevis is a butthead. There, I got the easy joke out of the way. Bevis sadly packs up his stuff with the help of his coworker, and then goes to put it in his car, just as the car gets hooked and wrecks down the road. Bevis walks over, chats with the local police officer, Officer William Shallert.
Does it do this often?
Well, it never has before.
And then heads home, only to discover that he's being evicted from his apartment. So, jobless, carless, and homeless, he does what anybody would do. He gets drunk and nitpicks grammar.
Are them it?
Those are it. You can't use them in the nominative case.
Live and learn, huh?
I can barely say the word nominative when I'm sober, so good for him. Bevis sees a cheerful fellow in the mirror, but when he turns around, the man is gone. He goes to check out the booth, and once he sits down, the cheerful man materializes out of mid-air. This man, J. Hardy Hampstead, claims to be the Bevis family's guardian angel since time immemorial. They share some shots, and then Hampstead shows some highlights from Bevis's past before offering Bevis a chance to have his day play out very differently, if Bevis agrees to a few minor changes to his character. Oh, so he's a Q. This is a lot like that episode of TNG where Picard and Q end up in bed together.
So, what's next? I don't know.
The day starts over, and right away the world changes its attitude to Bevis. The dog doesn't like him, he can't slide on the banister, the kids don't play with him, and the landlady, now fully paid off, flirts with him. He also has a much better car, but he's not particularly happy about it. He gets to work on time to find his desk as clean and normal as everyone else's, and his coworkers acting more formal and impersonal toward him. The boss loves him, though, and gives him a raise. Bevis goes out in the hallway to chat with Hampstead, who reveals that, despite being his guardian angel, Hampstead doesn't even like or understand Bevis.
To use the vernacular, Bevis, frankly, I don't dig you.
In response, Bevis chooses to go back to the way things were, because even though his life was in the gutter, it was his life, and he was happy to live it. Despite it all, though, Hampstead is still with him and manages to give him back his car. As I understand it, this was a failed backdoor pilot for another series, but I think it works just fine as a standalone story. It has a good, if overly saccharine message about appreciating what you have in life, and the cheeky interplay between Bevis and his guardian angel is pretty entertaining. As an episode of The Twilight Zone, it shows off the series' lighter side, and I think it holds up perfectly well. They share some shots. They share some shots. In our second episode, we see that Altera has gotten to Earth and ditched Leslie Nielsen, now calling herself Marcia for some reason. She is shopping for a golden thimble, which, after some light Googling, I learned used to be a traditional token of love. In olden times, if a man gave a woman a base metal thimble, he was expecting a subservient housewife. But if he gave her a golden or a jeweled thimble, he was expecting an uptight lady of the manor. Why Marcia's buying one for her mother, I have no idea. While she waits for the elevator, a second elevator opens up that only Marcia seems to notice. The elevator man takes her to specialties on the 9th floor, even though we can clearly see over the elevator door there is no 9th floor in the department store. When she gets there, she finds the entire floor empty as the elevator abandons her. She wanders around for a bit and encounters an incredibly creepy Liz Allen, who offers to help. As it happens, there is a gold thimble on the 9th floor. In fact, it is the only piece of merchandise there, and it's exactly what Marcia is looking for. Marcia is confused and distressed, especially when the saleswoman knows her name.
You called me Marcia.
Did I? I'm sorry. That was forward of me. I apologize.
Marcia interrogates her, but gets no real answers before she leaves, thimble in hand. On her way down the elevator, she suddenly notices that the thimble is dented and scratched. She shows this to the elevator man, who sends her to the complaints department on the 3rd floor. I'm gonna level with you. This is the first episode I don't ever remember seeing before, and when I got to this point, I was completely lost. So is the sales manager, Mr. Armbruster, who will now take his place as your new favorite character. He tries to explain Marcia's conundrum to the manager, Mr. Sloan, with both of them concluding that the woman is nuts. Sloan offers to speak with her, and so the pair go to her, even offering a refund for the purchase. Unfortunately, Marcia didn't get a receipt. As she argues, she notices the saleswoman in the distance, only to discover that she is actually a mannequin. Marcia, who presumably passed out, is taken to a back room to recover from the shock while Mr. Armbruster talks smack about her.
What I'd like to give her is a bus ticket. A one-way bus ticket to any department store west of Cleveland. Preferably Chicago or Los Angeles or Honolulu.
She is forgotten about as the store closes, and so she wakes up alone, save for all the freaky mannequins. She tries to call the elevators, open the stairway door, and call out for help, all without any luck. She presses her face against this weird-looking glass too, but that doesn't seem to help. After running around anxiously like a person who forgot phones exist, she discovers a mannequin that looks just like the elevator man. Then, she starts to hear voices quoting the Brady Bunch,
Marcia.
Marcia?
Marcia.
and we get a bunch of flashes of various mannequin faces. She starts flipping out and backs into the elevator. It goes up to the 9th floor, opens to the Liz Allen mannequin, and the saleswoman springs to life, dragging Marcia out into the abandoned sales floor. All the mannequins are up there too, and they each, in turn, start moving, following Marcia to a stage in the back. Okay, the show has finally gotten into nightmare fuel territory. The saleswoman offers some exposition to awaken Marcia's memory. It turns out Marcia is also a mannequin, and these mannequins have their own Rumspringa tradition where they are each allowed to take on the form of a human and enter the real world for a month at a time. Marcia was supposed to come back and take her place as a mannequin the day before, and it was the saleswoman's turn to go to the outside. Marcia apologizes profusely, lets Liz Allen go, and then takes her place. Later, we see Mr. Armbruster looking at the Marcia mannequin. This episode really messed with me, and I love it. No, it doesn't make much sense, and if you think too hard about it, you'll have way more questions than answers, but as an exercise in existential horror, it's surprisingly effective. And that's all I have on Mr. Bevis and the After Hours. Now, as always, do all those YouTubey things. Check out my Patreon. And all that other good stuff. But until next time, this is the Unapologetic Geek, telling you to never be ashamed of what you love. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
She was taken to the 9th floor and waited on by a rather odd woman. An odd woman yet. A personality trait that she would be particularly knowledgeable about.